I'll be talking about standard deviation. Woo! Now, 2 questions that you need to know, to have for standard deviation are: what is standard deviation and why should we use it? The dictionary definition of standard deviation is a quantity calculated to indicate the extent of deviation for a group as a whole. And what the heck does that mean? Well, through my understanding, and aka human speak, it's a range or amount made to show an amount changed for a group as a whole. Important information is that in real life uses, it's for margin error in politics and polls, rate of return for store-bought things, and even more things. There are 2 types of standard deviation. The first one is population, the second is sample. In population, it is lowercase sigma equals the sum of all of the data points minus mean squared divided by the population, as you can see there. Since not all data is going to have the entire data set, which would equal the population, that's when we head towards the sample. Most problems in statistics classes will use sample standard deviation, said a very smart statistics teacher. In sample standard deviation, its sample equals the sum of the data points minus mean squared all over the size of the population, the size of the data minus 1. Here's an example of a data set. Here's all this jumble of data, and since we don't know anything to put into it, we need to find the mean. The mean turned out to be 74.7. Through the sum, trying to get the sum of the data points minus mean squared, you have to go through all this work. And through that work, it's 18.77. Then you plug it into the equation, and you put 19, since that's the amount of numbers, minus 1, which is 18, and then the total of the sample standard deviation is 1.04. Here's what a histogram looks like, and that big long curve is the normal curve. A normal curve is usually bell-shaped, and it occurs a lot in nature. In the minorities are when the lowest and the highest amount, because there's very little going on, and then the majority is the average or the middle. That's all we have for standard deviation. If you want to know more, go look for Khan Academy.